Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well, and welcome to this Bullet For My Valentine lesson. This next one in the series we're doing is Disappear from the Scream Aim Fire album. I've put a cover out of that already, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a thing at the top for you to go and check that out so you can go and see it played up to speed. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is the fifth track from the 2008 album Scream Aim Fire. It's a bit of an odd song. I had a nightmare breaking this one down, actually. It's strange riffs in there, but with some really sort of classic Bullet For My Valentine, Poison era, like harmony guitar part riffs that we all sort of like know and love from them. So it's quite familiar in places, but it's a little bit of a strange one to play. So as always, I've broke it down into sections. We've got timestamps below. And I'll leave the little chapter titles at the bottom for you as well. So like I said, as odd as this song is, it follows quite a traditional verse, pre-chorus, chorus, back to the verse kind of format. So it's not hard or tricky in terms of like structure. A little bit like with some of their stuff on the Poison that sort of like meanders and there's loads of different riffs and loads of different sections and, you know, things just like come completely out of left wing. It stays familiar. It's quite a concise listen. And when you're playing it, it flows one thing into the other. But like I said, the riffs are a little bit tricky. There's some really tight down picking going on there, and there's some tight galloping going on in the main riff. So for this song, like with a lot of the songs on Scream Aim Fire, we've got a D standard guitar tuning. Okay, so that's D, C, G, F, A, D. Okay, so D, C, G, F, A, D. So that's a whole step down from standard tuning, and it's referred to as D standard, not drop D, D standard. Okay, and in case anybody's interested, the song's in the key of D minor, which also puts as the relative as F major. So I'm going to start off by going through the guitars left and right. Okay, so that's Matt and Padge's guitars for the intro section. So the intro riff is sort of like a gallopy thing, like an Iron Maiden thing almost going on. It's a bit odd because it's a bit stop-start, and you've got to resist putting notes in there that don't belong in there, but they come naturally if you were to sort of play it not knowing what's going on, if that makes sense. It's a lot more stop-start than I thought it was, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that when I get to that sort of stop-start part. But the first thing you're going to want to acquaint yourself with is these diode shapes here. Okay, now the first one you've got is 10 and 9 on the 5th and 4th string, so 10, 10 and 9. And then the next one you've got is 9 and 7, okay? That looks like a little bit of an inverted power chord shape, okay? So you got a major one and a minor one. And these are thirds, okay? So they're a diode, they're two notes, and they're thirds. Okay? And the main riff is sort of going back and forth between these two with some gallops, okay? And we're going to start off with just a low sort of open E chord right there, but it would be a D now because of the way we're tuned, but you know, your classic finger on 2nd fret 5th string and the open 6th string. And that leads us in now to, okay? Okay, and I think he's sliding into that, okay? So he's sliding from the first shape, the major one, into the minor one, okay? And I'm sort of swapping fingers out there because that's going to be a hell of a stretch for you to do your first two fingers. So I'm starting off with my 1st and 2nd finger. And then I'm going like that. My 3rd finger's landing on. Now I've seen this riff tabbed and played with just the bottom two notes. And unfortunately, that is wrong, okay? It's wrong on the tabs, and the way they play it live, there's two concerts that I could get hold of online to watch them actually playing it. Both of them are doing the exact same thing here, which is these diodes. So this thing, unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, that's a little bit wrong right there. When you watch them playing it live and you listen deeply to the track, you can clearly hear that they are playing these chords, which gives it a lot more of a thicker sound. Okay, so this is both guitar left and right, just to clarify again. So they're doing exactly the same thing right here, and we're going to go. Okay, and I'm alternate picking there. Okay? Then when it gets to there, it stops. It's very stop-start. Then you're gonna go back. Okay, so I'm keeping it alternate picked, okay? Stop. Okay, and it feels weird, it sounds weird, but that's how it is, okay? So we've got... Then, 2 power chords. Repeat. Okay, so that's everything so far. So from the start. Okay, so that's everything so far. Then what you're gonna do, I really debated what this chord was, but I think he leads down. Okay, and he's doing this great big power chord in the middle. The reason why the guitars sound so thick on this record, in the D standard stuff anyway, those chords, he's not only doing the power chord, okay, he's sticking the 5th on the bottom here. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if you've got a power chord, you've got root, 5th chord, power chord. I'm sure you've heard them referred to both ways, okay? And that note, the octave lower, is right here, right under your 1st finger. And that's how he's getting really big sounding chords on this album. He starts strumming right the way across those 3 strings. Okay? And then he's got the same thing down at C here. Okay, so what he's doing there is he's using this one in the middle to get to the hang. Okay, and live, it's that fast, they're barely even there. You can hear him just sort of sliding down to it and almost sort of like copping out of it. You can hear on this track how sort of pieced together it is. A lot of music as a whole nowadays, and not just heavy metal music, but when these guitars are being recorded in sessions, they record everything in takes. Yeah, so a guitar player will play the riff and they'll get the perfect take, and then what they'll do is they'll take that track and they'll drop it onto the actual track that's going to be in the final recording, and then what they'll do is they'll record the next one separately, and they sort of like copy and paste them together. Massively controversial, especially when Bob Rock was doing it on the Saint Anger era, but I think that was controversial because it was just the same riffs over and over and over and over again, or like reoccurring, and you could sort of hear that he was using the same riffs over and over again. But that's how it's done, so you can sort of hear how tightly this is sort of copy and pasted together, and it's that fast it's almost unplayable in a way. And you'll see it when they play this song live, or when they used to play this song live, they cop out of certain notes that bridge between chords, and they'll just slide down to them and stuff like that, and ad-lib. So the chord that I worked out is you've got this D chord right here with your finger barred across, okay, and then you're going to hang on C. Okay, so that's 3 and 5. And again, I've got my 1st finger barred across on the 6th string. Okay, so far you've got... Okay, then once you've hung out on C right there, you're going to go G. Now your 1st finger was already there on the G root note, okay, 3rd fret, 6th string. Just bring your pinky up one. Okay, and he's almost sticking like a bit of a very quick mute in a way in between. It's almost like he's sort of, it's not like a full-on palm mute. It's like it's almost like he's stopping the chord dead. So watch out for that little nuance in this song. It happens quite a few times on this record. Just the way he's choking his power chords and he's moving, that's completely a stylistic thing of Matt's that he does quite a lot on this record. So yeah, so we've got G. And then what he does is he comes back over to D, which is 5 and 7 with the 1st finger across on the 6th string. Okay, so... And that's the riff, and that is ran 2 times, okay? So I'll play it for you now, slow. Then what happens is a little bit of left and right guitar assignment as far as who's going to be playing what harmony parts, okay, which is coming into the next riff. So that's sort of like your intro guitars part 1. Then what we've got is the lead into the verse, all right? What happens is the left guitar is going to play the verse riff 2 times, and then it's going to do its leady thing at the end. Okay, so those 2 guitar riffs are just ran through straight like you've just learned them, twice over. And at the end of that, both guitars hang, okay? And the right guitar is going to carry on hanging. We'll worry about that in a minute, okay? What the left guitar is going to do is that's going to play the main riff, okay? And that's going to go... Okay, so the left guitar is going to play 1 run of the verse riff, okay? So the first thing that you'll all be surprised to see, for anybody who's had a go of this song before over the years, you'd be surprised to see that what I did there was these. And yes, up until last week, I thought it was... And unfortunately, it's not. He moves down to the lower dyads now. Okay, go watch the concert, you'll see it, right? And listen to it as well. You'll hear that he's not doing these higher ones. He's doing these lower ones. Okay, and what that is you've got a minor 1 right here, dyads still, okay? So these 2 sort of inverted power chord sort of shapes. You've got 7 and 5. And then you've got a major 1 right here, which is 5 and 4. Okay? And they use these shapes quite a bit on this album. So what he's doing is he's going, after the main riffs happen twice, he's hanging. Okay, and he's sticking a mute in between them. On the low 6 string, okay? Keep it all down pick for this. Once you mute there, you're going to do your C chord right here with your first finger barred across, okay? And that happens twice. So you've got... Okay? And then at the end of that, he takes us into the verse by going... Okay? And that's his guitar over on the left. Okay? That right there... You could play it a couple of ways. You could do it that way, or you could go... Whichever you're more comfortable with. I've got my 3rd finger on 12th fret, and I'm going to do a bend. Bend up and let it down. Okay? Then, once I've done that, let it down. I'm going to pick 10, back to 12, back to 10, and then 12 on the 3rd string, okay? Okay, so that section, all in all, after the intro part 1 guitars, I guess you could say. Okay, what's happening in the meantime? Over that riff, the right guitar is just hanging out, and he's going to do 2 palm mutes in the middle. Okay, the left guitar does not do that. He's just hanging out on the verse riff. Okay, and lastly, the assignment continues. The right guitar's harmony part is gonna be assigned right here at the end. Okay, going into the verse. So the main riff happens twice over, and at the end of it, you're gonna hang. Okay, so that's your right guitar. So just listen to it. As always, I say this every single lesson. Have the track sat with you while you're going through this. Slow it down if you need to. Yeah, that's your reference point for these lessons, okay? As well as my timestamps and my titles at the bottom here. Yeah, your reference point is the track. Listen to that at the same time, yeah? You might even find something I'm doing wrong, okay? So that bendy thing at the end there, he's doing that on the first string, okay? And you've got 10th fret. Bend up, let it down. Then pick 8, back to 10, back to 8, and then 7. So you've got... Okay, so all in all, that section would be... Okay, and that's your two intro parts. That takes us nicely into the verse section now. So the verse section is pretty much that main riff that we've been playing over on the left. Okay, played twice through. Okay, so I'll show you the left guitar, and then I'll show you the right guitar because that joins in now. It plays exactly the same thing apart from the little leady parts. They're where their assignment is on the higher string. Okay, so the verse. It runs through like this. Okay, so that's literally exactly what we played earlier. Just ran through 2 times, okay? So I'm pretty sure you can figure that out there, okay? So that was your left guitar. Your right guitar is going to be doing exactly the same thing with the dyads. Okay, 2 times over, just like the left guitar, but you're going to be doing this higher lead harmony right here that we learned earlier, just right at the end of intro part 2, okay? So I'll play that through for you. It's nothing too difficult. Okay, and that's verse number 1. Make sure you're happy with that because verse number 2 is exactly the same thing. So that's both your guitar parts left and right there, okay? Next, what we've got is pre-chorus number 1. This is where things get a bit crazy, okay? I'm going to show you the left guitar first, and then I'll show you the right guitar, okay? They're both pretty similar. You just play in different counterpoints or harmonies when it comes to the Poison era sort of that sort of thing, right? Which I think is why we love Bullet For My Valentine. We love that sort of sound. Yeah, that's massive nostalgia for me, and I'm sure it's probably the same for you guys, right? Okay, so left guitar is gonna hang now over on D5. Okay, so D5 power chord. I've got the 5th and the 7th fret. Okay, over on the 4th and 5th string. Okay, my first finger's going across just like it was earlier to get that really big sound. Okay, so hang out on that, and that's the What's Wrong Tough Guy, Why the Tears, okay? Then what's going to happen, this is actually Matt's guitar right here, you can see him playing this live. He's going to do the lower harmony part, and he's going to go... Okay, and what that is, it's like a C major shape. Okay, you're just going to have the bottom end of it. It's dyads again, right? So you've got your first middle finger on 3rd fret, 5th string, and your first finger over on 4th string, 2nd fret, okay? And you're going to go with a down pick on this. Okay? That probably sounds odd because what your ear is accustomed to hearing is that. Okay? But that's actually the harmony part to this, and that's over on the right, okay? So you've got hang on the D right there, and then you're going to go And that's a pull off right there and a hammer on. Okay? Okay, and I'm just keeping it down and I'm accenting those notes. Okay, you should know by now this is what Bullet do, okay? They're palm muting on the lower. Okay, and the notes that pop out, you're taking your palm off for them, you're accenting them, okay? So far you've got... Okay, and at the end of that, I'm hitting a single note there, okay, on my pedal point on the 3rd fret, okay. Then I'm going back to my D5. Then, once I've done that, I'm gonna pick slide down. Okay, I could probably do a better one than that. Okay, and then I'm gonna do... Okay, and that takes you into the chorus. So what that is, you've got a G chord right here, okay, G5, and that's 3 and 5 on the 6th and 5th string. And just keep that strummed. Then what he does is he comes over to this B5 power chord, but then again he stacks the 5th in the bottom, okay, so first finger's going to be a cross on 2nd fret, okay, 6th string, so you've got 2, 4, and then an extra 2 right here. So you got... And then 1, 2, 3 on G, down picked, okay? So the rhythm of that is... Okay, and again. Okay, so I'll play that section through for you now. So the What's Wrong Tough Guy, Why the Tears? Okay, and the best way you're going to get that effective pick slide, we talk about this in every lesson, but that has pick slides, but for anybody who's new here, just side of your pick, okay, and run it down a string with windings, okay, so none of these higher ones right here, get a string that's got lots of windings on it, and that's how you're going to get that sort of grindy sound, because your pick is going to be grinding against those windings, okay, and that gives you that, okay, that sort of nasty sound, right? Mute off the neck, okay? You don't want... Yeah? Make sure that it's nice and clean, so keep your left hand, make sure it's damped. And that's literally it. And I roll from all the way back at the bridge, okay? So right far back. And that gives me a nice amount of space to go down as far down as I need to go. And I don't run aground... Yeah, in time to get to the next riff. If you come too far forward, you're going to run out of neck space, and then you're going to be all out of time. So the further back you are right here, just that allows time for you to stop at any point that you'd like to stop at to get back to the main riff. Okay, so that's your guitar that's on the left. Okay, guitar that's on the right, that's going to play the higher harmony there. Okay, and that is literally going to be the same riff, just apart from those two parts, so the chords are going to stay the same. Okay, so I'll show it to you now. So you're going to hang on D. So What's Wrong Tough Guy, Why the Tears? And then you're going to go... Okay, which is the one that you're accustomed to hearing, right? So you've got your first finger right here on the C note, and you're going to go... Okay, so I've got 4 and 5 on the 4th string. And I'm pulling off with my 3rd finger from 5 to 4. And then I'm hammering back on. The important thing is here, keep it all down picked. And then at the end of that, play the single note right there, and then back to your big chord right here, your D5. Then what you want to do is the pick slide, and then the chords, and that takes us into the the chorus number 1. Okay, so I'll play that riff through for you now. So pre-chorus on the right side. And that's literally it for the pre-chorus. Okay, that's both your guitars. Okay, so just make sure, just to reiterate, keep it really tight and down-picked for those. Okay. And yeah, just take your time with it. Matt's picking is it's full on James Hetfield on this album. His down picking is absolutely incredible. So just take some time to get yourself accustomed with that. So the next thing we've got is chorus number 1. Okay, and left and right is literally going to be the main riff, but we do have some single note style poisony sort of riffs in the middle there. So let's tackle the left guitar first, and then we'll have a look at the right. Okay. So what we've got is the main riff. Okay, so play that through twice, just like in the intro, precisely the same. Then lead down, and I don't know if he does a single note there or he does the chord. Like I said, this is probably where the copy and paste was. It's so, if you blink, you'll miss it. You precisely what's in the middle there, but you need to bridge yourself with something to get there. And I'm 99% certain it's either this single note right here or it's the full D chord. Either way, it's a D. Okay, so bridge yourself there with that middle one. And then again, my first finger is right the way across on that chord, but you're there for like a nanosecond, right? You're bridging yourself to get to there. Okay, you get to that sort of that picky riff right there. Okay, so that riff, once you've bridged yourself, goes just like that. Okay, and I'll show you precisely what that is. So you play the main riff through twice. Okay, then he comes down, bridges it with D. Okay, then he takes his middle finger. This is Matt's part. Okay. Okay, so again, you've got the C sort of dyad right here. All down picks, okay? And make sure you do your hammer-ons and pull-offs there. Okay. Okay, it's just my first two fingers there. Then pick that note again. And you've got... Okay, so that is... He's come back to 5th fret, and then you've got 5 and 4 underneath that. My third finger creeps on here to do the 5 to the 4 with my first finger. So I'm keeping the shape the same. Okay, so... Okay, and then after that, bridge it with a G5 chord. That's 3 and 5 on the 6th string. And then down to the open, and that starts you off again to play it through another time. Okay, so it repeats itself. So that riff altogether would be... Okay, so that's that riff, and that's your left guitar. Okay, I'll play it through one more time for you. Okay, so that is your left guitar right there. The right guitar now is going to do the higher notey picky thing, right? Okay, whatever you want to call it. Accented notes with pedal points, I suppose you could, if you wanted to be professional. So it's exactly the same thing. You're going to run the main riff through, okay? The main diady thing going on up at the top. And then the only thing that changes is this part. Okay, so the riff is exactly the same, but when the other guitar goes down to the... What you're going to do is this. I'll show you what that is, and then I'll piece it together, because you already know those are the parts, right? You're going to go... Okay, so you run the main riff through twice, and then you've got this C5 power chord here, a little bit like what we were doing in the pre-chorus, okay? And you go... Okay? Bridge it with a single note on the on the 3rd fret, okay, where you were on your pedal point. Then come forward to 5th fret, and you're going to do this stretch. You're going to have like a power chord shape here. You're going to want to use your 3rd finger there, because the pinky needs to go up to 9th. Okay, so you got your 1st finger 5, 7 with your 3rd finger on the 4th string, and then your pinky is going to be going off of 9th fret. Okay, and this is the part Padge takes care of live. Okay, so you've got... And it's the same rhythm, okay? So you've got... I'm pulling off with my pinky from 9 to 7, okay? And then I'm hammering back. Okay? So all in all, you'd have this. Now, I know I only played that single note right there in the middle. That's my mistake. It is either that single note or it's the... Either way, it's in there as the chord, okay? So we'll go again now. And then that gets repeated. Just finish it with the G. And then it repeats itself. Okay? So I'll play that whole section through for you. So guitar right, chorus number 1. And that takes us nicely into verse number 2. Okay, so there's both your guitar parts right there. Just watch out for I guess just watch out for the down picking and the speed of it, and getting that bridge note in between whatever it is, whether it's the single note there or it's actually the chord. Yeah, I don't think they even play it live. They just slide down, so they go. Because it is that fast. They just... they kind of just like sort of slide down in the middle there. So it's up to you. If you want to play the single note, that works because it's in the full chord. So it's entirely up to you. So what happens now is the song sort of reboots itself in a way. It does exactly what it did earlier when we led into the verse, okay? You've got that kind of pre-verse or intro part 2 section, I called it earlier, section going on. This is where the right guitar hangs, and the left guitar does the verse riff. Okay, and does that sort of thing going on there. The right guitar is going to hang out on the E chord, right, or the D chord now, I suppose, because we're tuned low. Okay, and that's literally what happened earlier on the lead into the verse number 1. Just listen to the track, you'll hear it. You've already learned that part, so just use what you know there. Verse number 2, good news is it's precisely the same thing. Okay, so I want you to play all those guitar parts, whichever one you're doing, or whichever one you and your friend are doing, or when you're tracking it left and right, if you're doing a cover of it and you want to do all guitar parts, whichever one you've picked just to jam along to the track, just play it exactly the same. Okay, that takes us into pre-chorus number 2. Hey, guess what? Good news is exactly the same as what you've learned so far. Okay, and then that takes us into chorus number 2, and good news again. Best day ever, right? It's all the same. Okay, so play chorus number 2 precisely the same as I just taught it you. Okay, so we're heading into the pre-solo section right now. Okay, and this is where things get a little bit funky. So I'll teach you the easy guitar first, and then I'll teach you the one that's a little bit more tricky. So the pre-solo section, which is where Matt has a little singy line, and it's got that really metalcore riff going on right there. There's chords that are happening underneath that. That's only on the right, that guitar, okay? So what's happening over on the left right now is it's just going to be nice straight chords, okay? And they're going to be played 2 times over, okay? So it's going to be... Okay, so that's the guitar you're going to want to opt for on this one, okay? Especially if you're singing. This is Matt takes care of this part live, okay? Dead easy. You've just got these big chords, yeah. Just assume these 5th and 4th string ones. Assume that you've got your first finger across, okay? So you've got a C5, first finger across on the 6th string. Okay, then it's going down to the E, open position, back to C, and then up to the D with your first finger across. So you got 5 and 7 right there, but your first finger's across on the 6th string, as it has been right the way through the whole thing. Okay, and that happens 2 times. At the end of the last one, you're going to build up on the D with a good down pick there. Just follow the track on that one. Okay, so it's going to be. And just build it up there with a good solid down pick. And what happens there is that takes you into the solo rhythm, okay? But next, though, what we need to do is my favorite part of the song, hands down, probably one of my favorite Bullet For My Valentine sections ever, really, is the very sort of Poison era metalcore pulley-offy riff, okay? And that's happening over on the right, okay? And it starts like this. Okay, that's what we're going to worry about. We're going to split it down to sections. Okay, it happens twice, but at the end it sort of ends differently. So let's just take it step by step, okay? So what you're going to do is, this is all with a down pick, okay? Believe it or not. And you're going to, it starts off with this sort of C5 shape that we've been doing all along, okay? So you got 3 and 5. And you're going to have to shift with your first finger really quickly. We're tracing the outline of it. We're not holding the chord. We're tracing it, okay? The notes within. And we're going to go. Okay? All down pick. And make sure you accent those notes that are underneath. No muting. And you got 4, hammer to 5, pull 4, pull open. So it happens twice. Then what happens is you're going to do a couple of mutes on 5, 3 in fact, and then you're going to go down to your open. Okay, so far you've got And again. Okay, then what you're going to be doing is the same pull-off idea and hammer on, but you're going to be going off of the open 6-string mute now. Okay, for 2. Okay, so you're going to go. So far you've got. And again. After that, you're going to do 5s, 3 of them, down pick, and then you go line yourself back down at the 3 again. For 2, okay? So far you've got this. Then you've got. Okay. So after the end of those last 2 3s, where you with your first finger, okay, you're gonna go. You're gonna build up 1 2 3 on 3 up to 5, and you're gonna do a 4 hammer on 5 pull 4 open, followed by 2 more 5s muted on the 5th string, and you're gonna do the. And that is 7 pull open on the 4th, 5 pull open, 4 pull open, and then pick 5. Okay, so that's from those 2 3s there that we came back to after the opens. Okay, and that's the first run of it. I'm going to play the whole thing nice and slow for you now. Okay, then what happens is it starts again. So the whole thing is pretty much the same, okay? But when you get to these last couple of 3s, you're going to land on this 5 here. And what's going to happen there is that's where you're going to do your. But how do we get there? So play the riff precisely as you would for the first couple of measures of it. I'll show you where we're up to now. Right up to there, okay? Then what you're going to do is. Okay, you're going to go. That starts with the pedaling on the 5th fret right there. And those notes are all on the 4th string, okay? You're going to go 4, 5, 9, 7, okay? So you're going to go. Okay, I'm going to play it through for you now. So they're the notes, yeah? It's easier if I just play it and you follow along with me, okay? So the second section goes like this. So the key thing to watch out for there, I guess you could say, is this 1, 2, 3, 4 that happens on the 5, and then you've got the. Okay, so I'll play the whole section through for you now, if I can. Okay, so. Okay, and that's that section there. If you need it any slower, use the little thing at the bottom that slows me down, okay? And yeah, just take it section by section. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move over into the solo rhythm guitar, which is really easy. If you're not doing the solo, it's literally just the power chords we've been doing right the way through, and it just gets repeated twice over. The chords you've got are an E, C5, G5, and this B5 earlier that we were doing in the pre-chorus. Make sure that all those ones that you're playing that are on the 5th string, you've got your first finger across on that 6th string, adding that note on the bottom, okay? So the solo rhythm guitar goes like this. Okay, I can't play that any slower for you. That is what it is right there. Those are the chords. You've got E5, C5, G5, B5, all with the big heavy note that's in the bottom right there for anything that's on the 5th and the 4th string, okay? And take that on board as like an influence. I use it all the time. If you've wrote a power chord riff that's like that sort of thing, I guess, and you're just using those straight power chords that are on the 5th and the 4th string, try adding your first finger on the bottom. You got a whole new riff there and a completely different feel to it. So yeah, if there's anything you take away from this lesson, that's a really cool thing to have learned. So coming out of the solo rhythm right there, those chords happen twice over, okay? The left and the right guitar sort of split off, okay? And I'm going to show you what the left guitar is doing first, and then I'll show you the right guitar. The right guitar is just hanging out for a little bit, okay? But this is sort of the breakdown section, if you like, I guess you could call it. It's using the same dyads that we've been using for the verse. Okay, so you've got the 5 and you've got the 7 and the 5, and the major one right here, which is the 5 and the 4. Okay, and it starts off by sort of sliding down. Okay, and you're gonna go. That's the first section of it, okay? Then what happens is the right guitar comes and joins in with that, okay? But that's coming out of the solo section, so slide yourself down and keep it with down picks now. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the C5. Pick C5, and then G5, and then open E shape. E5. Okay, so you've got then what he does is he builds it up there. You go C, D5, E5 positionally. Okay, and those ones, they don't have that root in the bottom. Not root even, but that note in the bottom, that extra stacked 5th, if you like. They don't have that there, okay? You're just going to go. Okay, and that's how that sort of section ends. And then the right guitar joins in. And then the riff repeats itself, just without the... Okay, so I'll show you that in a second, but everything so far, slide yourself in. Then what's going to happen is you're going to sort of play the riff twice, but it leads us cleverly back into the pre-chorus number 3. Okay, so I'll show you what happens. So after you've done the... That's where I'm going to cut that, because what happens after that is the pre-chorus. Okay, and that lands us nicely on the chord that the pre-chorus starts on, that D5, the 5 and 7 in the middle right there on the 4th and 5th string, with your first finger on the 6th. Okay, so I'll play that through for you again, and then I'll show you what the right guitar is doing. Okay, so all in all, that whole breakdown section after the solo rhythm, left guitar. That's where I cut that, because the next chord is part of the pre-chorus, number 3. Okay, so that's your left guitar. Okay, next what we'll do is we'll look at the right guitar. So what happens is, coming out of the solo rhythm, this guy slides down and he hangs on the open. Then what happens, that's for quite a while the left guitar is taking care of the start of the breakdown. When the left guitar goes, that's where you join in and you play exactly the same thing. Okay, so when the left guitar builds up, that's when your right guitar comes in. Okay, so coming out of the solo rhythm, guitar right. And cut right there, because the next chord is pre-chorus number 3, okay? And that's your breakdown section. Just use your ear on that one, like I say in every lesson, and yeah, you'll get there with that one. It's nice and simple. So pre-chorus number 3 is exactly the same as number 1 and number 2. It's just played through 3 times, okay, before you stick your on the end of it going into the chorus, okay? And I'll show you right now what each guitar's doing. It's really, really easy. Just play the same riff through 3 times, okay? So I'll take the left guitar first. So coming out of the breakdown, it hits this chord right here, the D5, just like we've been doing on every other pre-chorus. And it goes down. And then again. And then again. Pick slide. Okay? Really, really easy. Just play it 3 times in a row. Okay? You already know the riff. Just stack it on top of each other. You'll hear it on the record. Dead easy. Okay? Guitar on the right will be doing exactly the same thing. So coming out of the breakdown. And that's your pre-chorus number 3. I'm going to say it again. It's just 3 times in a row, each riff of each guitar that you've picked to follow for this lesson, okay? And that takes you nicely through into chorus number 3. Just make sure you're following it with the power chords right there, okay? Then chorus number 3 is exactly the same. Don't need to show you that. That's the good news, okay? So play chorus 3 through precisely how you've been playing it on number 1 and 2. And then what happens is you've got the outro riffs, okay? And the guitars split up here and do something very traditionally Bullet Poison era again, I guess you could say, with the single notes. Let's take the guitar on the left first. This is going to take care of the lower notes to start with, and then I'll show you the and then it actually goes higher. But I'll show you what guitar left does, and then I'll show you what guitar right does, okay? So the guitar on the left starts off with the lower ones. You've got 10 and 9 right here, or 9 and 10, whichever way you want to look at it, and you're going to go. Something to that effect. There's a couple of things that you're going to want to watch out for there, but it is quite straightforward, okay? First of all, you've got the... Okay, so I'm just doing the same rhythm as I was doing for the... Same picking pattern, okay? Okay, the first time that's run through, you actually play a G5, 3 and 5 right here on the 6th string, and then open. So you've got... Okay, then it straight opens for the rest of it. Okay, so you've got... Then what he does is he comes all the way up here now, nice and high, and you're going to go on the third string. You could do it low if you want, but this is where I tracked it down to. You've got third string. Okay, you're going to have to do some serious string skipping there with your palm muting, okay? And we've got 16 and 14. Okay, with your hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then... and I'm going to slide down from 14 to 12. And then it just simply finishes by going D, E, with nothing on top. Okay, just the straight power chords, 5 and 4 there. Strings wise, okay? Okay, so altogether, that riff on the left would be... Okay, guitar on the right is just going to do a counterpoint to that. Rather than 9 and 10 right here, you're going to do exactly the same picking pattern, but you're going to do it at 12 and 14, okay? And that's going to be... Okay, so you start off, same picking pattern, same strings, okay? But you're going to do the 12 and the 14. Bridge it with G, just for this one time only. Two E's, or opens. Then you're going to come onto the 4th string, and you're going to have 50. You're going to have 17 and 16. Same picking pattern. But you're going to have to skip the string there in the middle, okay? So that's coming onto the 4th string, and you're paddling off of the 6th string, okay? And you've got... followed by 2 opens, and then... okay? And then I slide down from 16 to 14. And then finish it with the 2 power chords, exactly the same. Okay, so that section will be like this. Okay, and that's it. That's all your rhythm guitars for Disappear, Bullet For My Valentine. And yeah, I'd just say watch out for the down picking on this song, and just the rate and the speed that the chords move from one to the other. But yeah, and watch out for the galloping and the stop-start and the main riff, I guess, as well. So let's move on now and not waste any time. Let's get straight into the guitar solo. So I've got the guitar solo split up into 5 sections. Okay, it's all E minor positions. If you've learned those on a standard tuned guitar, that is, there'd be D minor now, notage and key wise. But if you've learned your natural minor positions, okay, we're literally just following those, typical pad style. Okay, on this album. The solo follows a very similar formula to what he does on the rest of the solos on this album. It's quite composed, pieced together, nice easy sections to follow, and yeah, it's nothing too difficult, no sweep picking or anything like that going on in it. So yeah, it's all Aeolian or minor natural positions. And yeah, I've got it split into 5 sections. The first one I've got is it starts off with a trem picked part where you're climbing up, but you're trem picking with your pick. Section 2, you've got these bluesy bends. Okay. Section 3, you've got like a Kirk Hammett Ride the Lightning era kind of run there. Right, a very Gary Moore kind of thing going on there. Thin Lizzy. Section 4, nice and easy, octave chords. And then finally, you've got a very typical Padge, natural minor run, all the way from the 6th string to the 1st string, which he absolutely loves to do. Okay, so let's get into it. There is a wah pedal turned on for the majority of this solo. Okay, so if you want to get your wah pedals out, feel free, and I'll just be showing it you with my straight distorted tone right here. So the guitar solo starts like this. Section 1 would be. Okay, just like that. Okay, but he's tram picking that. Okay, so get used to the idea of fast down, up picking. Okay, and the pattern he's following is open 3, 2, 5, 3, 7, 5, 8, 7, 10, 8, 12, 10, 14, 12, 14. Okay? So he's going. Okay? Okay? And that's literally all there is to it. It's all on the 1st string there, starting from the open. Okay, that's the pattern fingers wise. Okay, that's section 1. All you've got to do now is you've got to get your fast picking on the go. Okay. And we're going to go. Okay? And it's literally as simple as that if you can get the speed, okay? Okay, and that's your first run of it, okay? And it actually just stops there on the 14th, okay? And stop it right there. Don't double pick that last 14. It does do a 14 beforehand. That is tram picked, but the last one just takes you into the next section, single pick it, okay? The second section looks something like this. Okay, that is very Padge again. You're going to have 3rd finger, okay? Keep your 1st finger on 12th to help you out as well, because we're going to be using that, okay? 1st string, okay? And you're going to do a half step bend and pull back to 12 on the 1st string. Then I'm going to pick 15 on the 2nd string, okay? So I've got... When I do 15, I'm going to bend up, okay? Full step bend. And that happens twice. It's just 2 runs of that. Okay, and shake the hell out of it as well when you're up there. And I am going back to the 12 there. Okay, so. Okay. 2 times. Then what you've got is big 17th fret bend, okay? And you're going to bend that up, okay? You're almost going to sort of half step it. Okay, and once you're bending it, pick the hell out of it. Just like that. Okay? You sort of ride the line between a half step and a whole step bend there. Okay, so section 2. Okay, next what we've got is section 3, and it's this very Kirk did it all over Ride the Lightning, Metallica, but everyone in the book's done this run. Okay, and it's just groups. Okay, it sounds like a really fast run, but it's just following a minor pentatonic shape. Okay, and we're gonna go get that down first. Okay, you start at 15, pull to 12, and then pick 15 on the second string, back to 12 on the first string, back to 15, and then pull to 12 on the second. So, okay, and you're sort of doing it in threes. Okay, string wise. Okay. Once you get here, the box comes in now, so you're going to have 14 and 12. And I'm pulling off on the third string there to 12 on the first string, so I've got... Okay, so that's your first group of 3. Then come back a string and do the same thing, but you're going to go down a string lower when it's just moving down in increment stages, okay? So that's your first group of 3. Then you're going to go back to the second string. Same picking pattern. That lands you with the 4th string with your first finger on 12th fret. Okay, 4th string, okay? So you got... Okay, then come back a string from 3rd string now. Okay, that lands you at the 5th string, 12th fret. Then come back a string, you got 14 again. Okay, and that lands you finally at the 6th string, okay? So it's groups of 3. Back a string. Back a string. Back a string. Make sure you do that as 15. 15 pull to 12, okay? So you've got 15s, 15s, down to 14s, okay? That's literally the outline you're tracing. It's a minor pentatonic run, okay? Okay, so that is section 3. Section 4 is just octave chords. We've talked about these before, okay? And you're going to go... Okay, that is on the 5th and the 3rd string, okay? You've got... Okay, that is going to be 5th string with your first finger, okay? Pinky or 3rd finger, whichever one you prefer. And you're going to have your 3rd finger over on 9th fret, okay? On the 3rd string. Block off all the strings, damp them. We've talked about these in all my other lessons, okay? You should probably know how to do an octave chord by now, okay? I just want those 2 notes popping out that I've got my 2 fingers on, right? Yeah? And the same note. Just 12 notes apart. That gives us an octave chord, okay? Not a power chord. Leave a note in the middle and mute that note in the middle, okay? Get your fingers nice and flat. And we're going to go 7 and 9. Up to 9, 11. Then forward 1. And you're going to have 10 and 12. Then forward 1 again. And you're going to have 10 and 14. Okay? Nothing too hard right there. You've got... I'm sort of sliding up to each one. Okay, so I'm sliding into the next one before I hit it. Okay, that's section number 4. And then the last section is the page minor natural run. It goes something like this. Okay, Just follow the pattern and you'll get it. It's all hammer-on, so you don't have to worry about picking this one, okay? So from the 6th string, you're going to go, we'll split it into two sort of sections. You're going to go 12, 14, 15. Next string, 12, 14, 15. Next string, 12, 14, 16. So you've got... Then the next string, 12, 14, 16 again. Okay? So you've ran 4 strings worth there. Okay? So you've got... Okay? 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 16, 12, 14, 16. Lastly, we're going to go back a string, okay? That lands you on the 4th string, and you're going to go 12, 14, 16 again. Next string, 3rd string, 12, 14, 16, okay? Next string, come forward one with your finger, but keep the pattern the same, okay? So that gives you 13, 15, 17. Then what happens, come forward one with your first finger again, and we're following the natural minor positions here, so that gives us 14, 15 with my middle finger, pinky for 17, okay? So that's going to be... And that's the last run of it, okay? Put the two sections together, you get... And then stick a big bend on the end of it. Okay, so that would be 17th fret, a full step bend, okay? And shake the hell out of it. Okay, so that's your last section, section 5, okay? So I'll run it through for you. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole thing for you nice and slowly. If you want to see it played up to speed, it's on my cover, okay? So I'll go from the start now. Okay, so there's your guitar solo for Disappear, okay? It's nothing too difficult there. It's a very simple patch sort of formula, the way he's doing it. He composed his solos on this on this album. It's almost like he took his favorite licks out of tab books and instructional DVDs and just sort of like put them all together. So just follow those sections, keep it slow as always, and you'll get it, okay? If you've got any questions, just hit me up down below in the comments, or come find me on Instagram. I'm doing one-on-one lessons now. I just taught somebody this song. In fact, last week we had a great time. We spent like an hour and a half just going over all the parts. So if that's something you're interested in, you want a little bit more of an in-depth discussion with me, I guess you could say, and a one-on-one lesson with me, I do them all via Zoom. Come find me on Instagram and drop me a message, and we'll see what we can do. But other than that, if you're still here, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm currently at 399 subscribers as I'm saying this, I believe so. So by the time I've put this out, if we're at 400, thank you so much for 400. If not, thank you for 399 anyway. That's something I never thought would happen. And the fact that it's continued to grow is absolutely awesome. So I really hope you're enjoying the videos, the covers, the chat videos, these lesson style videos and stuff like that. Got a shed ton more to come. And let me know which lessons and covers you want to see next. Here's the obligatory: if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help when you leave a like. So everybody who leaves a like, thank you so much, or even a comment. and even sharing it. That's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, because I know some of you guys do share these videos. So thank you so much for your support. And yeah, any questions, leave them down below. Come follow me on Instagram, as I've said already. And this is the end now. I'm done talking. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll catch you guys soon. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.